So, Philippe, thank you for joining us this morning and for opening up your thoughts about your business and how you got to the business that you currently have. And would you mind introducing yourself to the people that are going to watch this video?
Yeah, sure. First of all, thanks for the invite. Thank you for having me. It's an amazing opportunity to share our journey. So my name is Philippe. I'm the founder and managing director of ChefnGuests. Basically ChefnGuests, it's a platform that connects foodies like anyone, I think, will love food and amazing professional chef for personalized dining experience into your home, short-term rental, or even corporate event.
Great, thank you. And I think there's quite a big need for it. And I'm sure that COVID helped you guys a little bit as well.
Yes, we officially launched in August 2018. That was about 2 years before COVID. The growth was slow, but then when COVID happened, our growth actually, we had more demand that we can actually fulfill. And then, COVID was a blessing in a sense for us. It was not a blessing for the other people in the hospitality industry, but we benefited from that as well.
No, thanks for sharing that. And then, Philippe, what makes you unique? Why should people use your services?
Yeah, thanks for that question. So one of the things that makes us unique. So first of all, when we had the idea of ChefnGuests, there was different things that we realized. So the first thing on the client side, there was a growing need of people wanting service to come to them instead of going to look for services. That was the first thing. On the second thing is we saw a gap in the market where people were looking for more intimate experience, and traditional restaurants sometimes don't offer you that intimacy that you want. You know, it's often crowded or it's not intimate. So that's on the client side. On another side, we also saw that there was a need. People had a need for quality food. They wanted to know where the food comes from, and all those other things. And on the chef side, we realized that it's very expensive for them to go to culinary school. When they enter the market, salary is very low. Sometimes working under end management, they're not able to express themselves. So we decided, why can't we create a platform that actually benefits both individuals? So the foodies getting access to those quality food, being able to actually have those intimate dining experience with their loved one. And then on the chef side, basically be able to use their skills and their talent to be creative and earn an income. Yes. So basically what makes us unique is on the platform, there's different chefs that you can choose from based on different dietary requirements. If you look for an Italian menu, Mexican, African, whatever, the platform actually offer you a wide variety of chefs. Yes. And then it's you actually in control. So you decide on the chef you want, you decide on the menu, and then the chef actually, so the whole process is the chef, once you pay, the chef comes to your house with all the ingredients, cook in your kitchen, serve you, and clean. So it's not just a food experience. We're about also a human experience by connecting you and the chef. Yeah.
Okay. So the chef has to have a bit of a personality, I think.
Exactly.
Okay. Thank you for that. So what have been your biggest learnings as an employer? And I'm saying employer, but perhaps, you know, as the person running the platform and with other people, what has your biggest learning been with people in business?
Yeah, thanks for that question. And I want to start by saying one of the things that's very big with us at ChefnGuests, everyone involved at ChefnGuests, is we're about building relationship with our staff, our client, and our chef. So our chefs are not working for us directly. So they come to us, they want to join the platform, it's free for them. But we really want to emphasize, before adding a chef on the platform, obviously the chef has to have professional background, working in good establishment, actually having a degree from a school. But then we also look at character, because that's for us is very, very important, because we're connecting two individuals who don't know each other. And then above just the cooking part of it, it's that human connection that happens in someone's house. Yes. That's on the chef part. So on our staff part, we actually realize it's very critical to hire the right person if you want your business to grow. But for us, it goes back to the character part. Because one of the things that's been with us is we hire, it's not just based on the degree or the experience, it's mostly based on the character of someone who actually want to learn and grow with the business. And for us, that's very important.
I'm hearing you saying a growth mindset is really important for people who you employ and for people who you want on the platform.
Exactly.
Excellent. So all of this is obviously running a business, and if you think about a business and the demands, how do you balance personal life and business demands in your?
Mhm. Yeah, thanks for that. I think first of all, I would say it's not easy. It's very difficult, and I think we've been doing this for 5 years. But I think everyone starting a business, especially at the beginning, it's gonna be very hard for you to have that balance, because you have to give your 200% into the business. But I think for me personally, I would say it's my faith and my community that actually helped me keep on going through when times get hard. And I would say I have also learned to surround myself with the right people who give me the right counsel, the right wisdom, either like business people, or someone was Christian. I'm Christian in my faith, who helped me actually think through different situation. I think sometimes we just focus on one thing instead of, we're not actually seeing the real problem, and we need other people to actually point the right problem.
Interesting. We had a coach out from the UK, and one of the big things is that independent view that somebody can give you and say, you know what, have you thought of this or have you thought of that? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You wanted to say?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was saying, I think also one of the things that I've been learning in the last few years is I've learned to say no. I think sometimes we just get too busy, and then it affects your productivity, that will affect the business. So I think learning to say no and take breaks, it's very important. Otherwise you burn out and your business suffer and yourself suffer.
Yes.
And I think so just taking time to exercise, do something, even hobby on the side, change your mind.
Yeah. So one of the business owners I interviewed last week talked about blocks of golden time that, he puts in his diary. It's for the family. It's those 5 hours or 2 hours in the morning that is for him. It's interesting how people do certain things in a way. But I think if you think about time management, and I know you can't really manage time, but if you think about it, what are the important things that you have to put in place first? Those breaks, reviewing your business, thinking about the future. How do you want it to grow, and so on. So well done there. So
thanks.
We're looking at new team members for your business. What qualities are you looking for?
Yeah, thanks. I think it goes back to what I mentioned before. I think for us, it's character first. Obviously, the person has to have an education, a degree. We look at that as well. But I think for us, it's character, and then the humble spirit, if I can call it like that, and then the will to grow with the business. I think for us, for instance, we hired at one point someone who didn't have, the person had some knowledge, but she didn't have everything that we needed. But she was so willing to grow with the business. She wanted to be part of something. And I think for us, that's very important is you can hire someone who's got a lot of degrees and a lot of qualification, a lot of experience, but then he or she doesn't want to put herself or himself into the business and grow with the business. And I think for us, that's very important for us. I think it's about that than just the degrees and the character, because we see ourselves, going back to what I was saying, relationship is very important. The people that we hire, we want to grow together. It's about that for us.
Excellent. So I gather a lot of your marketing is referral marketing. Clients who are very happy, they've had a nice meal, a good experience. Their friends are around the table. Next time, perhaps one of their friends invite you, or they would recommend you to their friends in terms of what you do.
Yes. Yeah, so I would say it's both currently. So we do have, I would say 50% of the booking comes from referral, and then the other 50% is new client that actually find us through the different channel that we use, either social media or internet marketing and all those other things. We use.
Okay, so thinking about business now, and what are the common misconceptions that you believe people have about running a business?
Yeah, thanks. And I think, first of all, I want to say that it's amazing that we live in an era where entrepreneurship is everywhere, on TVs, on social media. I think that's a good thing, because it shows that there is potential out there. But I think the thing that's been turned in the wrong way is the fact that usually entrepreneurship, especially on social media, it's portrayed as a way for people to get rich quickly, have those expensive things, travel over the world, buying those cars, rather than being something about how do I create values for my community, for my country, for my continent, you know?
Yes, yes.
And I think that's the narrative I believe that has to change.
Entrepreneur
In Africa is behind, and we actually have a lot of step to move forward. And entrepreneurship, for me, I believe it's the way for that. But I think we need to change the way we actually talks about entrepreneurship, or actually the people we portray
as a success.
Yes.
Absolutely. I mean, if you think about it, you know, any type of program, normally you see the big cars and you see lots of money and, you know, hotels and airplanes and all those things. But as you said, you know, I think where you are and I am, the difference we can make is in our community. It's about employing more people so that we can help uplift the community even further. Yeah. Excellent.
Yeah. And I think also another thing, I believe that entrepreneurship should be taught at school from the early age, you know, and then developing that entrepreneurship spirit into the kids. And I think it starts from there, but also going back to why do we do that, based on how do we develop their skills, their gifts to actually think entrepreneurship, but then on bringing values to the community as well. So, yeah.
In Action Coach, we've got a program called the YES program, which is aimed at specifically school children and getting them exposed to entrepreneurship and starting businesses while still at school. So if you think about new business owners, what advice would you give them regarding running a business, and more specifically perhaps around financial management?
Yeah, I think thanks for that. I think when we started ChefnGuests, I'm not a person that loves numbers. Partner deal with that, but it's something that I've learned. Like, it's very important. You can't neglect the financial management part of your business. It's very critical for your growth, and also you have obligation with the taxman, you know. And I think also one of the things that I'll say is, I think sometimes when people start businesses, depending on the status of your businesses, obviously, but then regardless, they sometimes confuse the business money with their own money. So I think you need to be able to split that. That's very important. And I think as an employer, I think for me, what's very important for me as well is also based on when I was still working, the way I was treated, where about the owner of the business, and then you are less, you know. But for me, it's like my employee has to come first, my staff, and if I mean I need to get paid after, I'll do that. So always make sure that my financial are actually proper, so my employee can be paid in due time every month. And I think I'll say also one of the things that's important, like as I mentioned, I'm not big in numbers, so I have a partner who would do that. But if you I'll say, if you can teach yourself that skill, do it. It's very important. Or if you can afford it, get an accountant to actually book and all the other financial obligation. It's very critical for your business.
To know your numbers. Yeah, absolutely. So 5 years from now, where do you see yourself?
Thanks. I think we are very excited about our future. We actually seeing ourselves in the next year or so or two outside of the country. We planning to expand into the UAE, and then in the US as well. There's actually a growing demand. I think based on a study, the private chef service is valued around 19 billion US dollar. So, and continue growing. So we actually see ourselves having the potential to make an impact into the world with the way we approach this service. And also another thing that's very big for us is, as an African platform, we want to actually showcase Africa to the world as we grow, showcasing our culture, showcasing our foods, showcasing our ingredient, the way we actually cook things and all those things through the chef that we have on the platform. Because food brings people together, and we actually want to change African narrative with that. Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. So what is your biggest challenge in getting there?
I think for the first thing in South Africa, I'll say access to funding, because over the 5 years we've been self-funding, bootstrapping, all the money, all the profit goes back into the business. I think raising fund in South Africa is quite difficult. That's the first thing. But I think it's changing a little bit, where you're getting there's more, I would call it, there's more entrepreneurship platform being created. So for instance, we partner recently with an organization called Startup Club Zede. Basically, their all aim is to bring the tech community with the investor, angel investor, VC together.
Yeah.
Growing, basically building an ecosystem. And I think it's actually getting there slowly and slowly. There's more initiative like that happening in the country, but I think there's more to be done. I think when you look at the survey of how money is actually being invested in Africa, South Africa is it's actually below 10, I think,
on
the ring. So I think that's the first challenges is that. The second challenges I'll say is I think specific skills for specific need that we need, especially I would say in the IT part of the business, because we're looking for something specific. Sometimes I'm thankful we haven't had to outsource at the moment, but I think as we grow, it's not something we want to do because we will always want to promote local potential. But I'll say those two: the financial and then getting the right people.
Yeah, excellent. Philippe, thank you for that. My last question: what is the one question that I should have asked but didn't, and what's the answer?
Yeah, I'll say, what are the challenges of being an entrepreneur in South Africa without being a South African?
Yeah.
I'll say the answer is, it's challenging. There's a lot of challenges with that, but I think when people always ask me, I always say I don't have a plan B. So my plan A is my plan A. So you give your 1000% when you're not from a country. I think studies have shown that even in America, the top 50 biggest businesses were started by immigrants, and you have to give. You don't have plan B. You have to give your.
You have to just do it. You've got to work at it. Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting how you spoke about starting in 2018. That's quite a 5 years, 6 years away already. And people think about business and they say, well, look at that guy, it's an overnight success, but they don't see all the hard work and they don't see all the long hours that you put in. And especially, I know in the food industry, there could be very long hours, and you work when other people are having fun. So
exactly.
Thank you so much for your openness. Thank you for sharing your thoughts with us, and I hope and wish you lots of success in your business.
Thanks a lot. Thanks for having me, and I really appreciate this opportunity.